morning, esteemed dignitaries, industry leaders, government officials, representatives from the logistics and manufacturing sectors, exporters, importers, and our valued guests. On behalf of Delta Ports, Mormugao Terminal Private Limited, Mormugao Port Authority, and with the support of Goa Industrial Development Corporation, it is my privilege to welcome you all to Trade Meet 2025, a landmark gathering dedicated to the revival of container services from Mormugao Port, unlocking new opportunities for Goa's trade and logistics future. To officially commence the trade meet, I now invite Dr. Raghuba Kotkar, VP, Delta Ports, to deliver the welcome and opening address, sharing the vision behind Delta Ports' commitment to regional growth and development.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Respected dignitaries, industries leader, government officials, and dear friends. It gives me a great joy to welcome you all to the Trade Container Meet 2025. Today is a proud moment and historic day for Goa as we mark the revival of container services at Mormugao Port. This is not just a business achievement, it is a step of pride, progress, and new opportunities for our state and our nation. I have been part of Delta since 2010, and these 15 years I have seen our journey grow from strength to strength. What began as a personal role for me has become a larger ambition to make Goa a vibrant logistic hub for India and for the world. Let me introduce the company I proudly represent, Delta Info Logistics Worldwide Limited, founded in 1986 as a small transporter company with only few trucks and trailers. Today, Delta stands tall with near 4 decades of experience in shipping and logistics and to end-to-end services to clients. Our headquarters are in New Mangalore, and we are proud to have a strong presence in Goa, Tuticorin, Vizag, Bangalore, along with operations abroad in Oman, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Our growth of success are guided by a vision of our chairman, Mr. Mohiddin Ahmed, and leadership of our managing director, Mr. Shamil Ahmed. Their brief and innovations and excellence has always inspired us to aim higher every day. At our organizations, our motto is simple and powerful: a smile on client's face. A milestone in our journey has been the formations of Delta Ports Mormugao Terminal Private Limited, which was managed at berth number 1011 at this port under the public-private partnership scheme. With this 30 years concession agreement signed with MPA, we are committed to develop world-class infra, ensuring efficient, reliable, and sustainable cargo handling for the future. The revival of container services here is about much more than trade. It is about the regional development. Goa unique locations along with our upgraded facilities, which attracts new trade opportunities, lower logistic cost, and generate valuable employment for Goan youth. We commence operations at berth number 1011 on 14th April 2025, and we are pleased to share a series of records achieved in these last 4 months at the port in handling in bulk cargo. Successfully discharged vessel Jal Kalpruch of our client Mandavi River pallets carrying 60,000 in just 49 hours, setting a new benchmark. Finished the vessel within 2 days at average of 30,000 tons in a single day. Discharged in 24 hours 29,284 of iron ore fines for the same vessel, which is a record and volume never handled before at MPA at this berth number 10 and 11. Achieving a record loading of 30,581 metric tons of iron ore pallets in a single day for the vessel Vishwa Chetna. These milestones reflects our commitment to operation excellence at the port. At Delta, we believe in 3 core values: partnership, trust, and service excellence. Our investment are not only in infra but also in relations with our clients, with our partners, and with our community of Goa. So we are celebrating this ritual today. Let us all go ahead with unity and confidence. Together, let's build collaborations and grow so that Goa becomes a shining gateway of trade for the future. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in Goa, and thank you for believing in Delta Ports and MPA. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Goa.
Thank you, sir. Moving forward, it is important to understand the vital role of Mormugao Port in this ambitious revival. May I now request Mr. Vinayaka Rao, Deputy Chairperson, MPA, to share insights on the port's strategic location, capabilities, and its crucial role in supporting container operations.
Mr. Abhishek, MD IDC Goa, Mr. Shamil, MD Delta Ports, friends from the maritime sector, industry experts, I think everyone knows the Mormugao Port in Goa. We are there since 1885 and one of the leading service provider in the state of Goa, a large employer. Even now we take care of roughly 900 odd employees and roughly about 4,500 pensioners. The port was predominantly an iron ore port. We have seen the ups and downs. We have seen the highest cargo of 50 million in the year 10-11. Of course, we have seen a bottom of about 11 million post ban on iron ore mining and exports. We had huge plans when we reached the peak of 50 million tons of million metric tons of iron ore, but the ban, which has caused us I can say pause in our infrastructure development. Again now we are on the path of growth. Growth in a sense, growth in traffic, growth in infrastructure. We have entered an agreement with the Delta ports for 30 years, as Mr. Raghoba has already said. Our aim and intention is to provide an efficient service to the maritime fraternity. We had container operations earlier. Of course, due to non-availability of cranes, it was stopped in between up till 2023. I think we handled containers. Now we have the state-of-art 2 cranes in place at berth number 10 and 11. The container activities are expected to commence soon. We'll hear from the Delta ports maybe later of this session. Our intention is just not only containers. We want all kind of cargoes to be handled at Marmugao port. We were one time complete iron ore port. Now the time has made us to diversify into multiple cargo. We handle coal, we handle iron ore, we handle containers, we handle every other cargo, break bulk, bulk. We had been receiving requests from the industries in Goa to commence the container operations. I think the time has come now. We will soon start the operations. Both Delta ports and MPA are tying up with the lines to call at the port. Only thing is the ecosystem was discontinued for some time. Yes, we need to restart it. We would extend all kinds of support. May it be a service, may it be a requirement of a compliance, coordinating with other government agencies. We would take lead. Any issues, anything, if you feel MPA to take up, you are most welcome. Apart from the berth number 10, 11, I will talk generally about the port, because berth number 10, 11, the Delta ports will give more insight into what they are going to do, how they are going to handle, what services they are going to render. I will talk about what, as a port, what we are planning and how we want to improve the complete ecosystem in Goa. To start with, I think we have seen the road. Now, all this time, the containers or any trucks used to pass through Vasco City. there were limitations, restrictions in the movement. I think every day 5 hours was restrictions was there, morning, evening, maybe school time, all that. Now we have a seamless connectivity to the highway. There is nothing 24/7, the road is operational, nothing stops you from taking or bringing cargo into the port. Road is ready, road well corrected road now. Rail infrastructure also we have improved. We have total 9 lines, rail lines. Recently we have modified line number 8. We can handle 2 rakes simultaneously without having any problem. It can be taken out, it can be evacuated anytime. I said about the road, rail. Now, the sea infrastructure or the berth infrastructure, what we are planning. We have got a clearance for redevelopment of berth number 9. I think the seniors all, I think majority are there. Everyone knows it was a lifeline of Marmugao port. The mechanical ore handling plant, the iron ore industry knows better how it was running. Over the years, the iron ore plant was old. We had scrapped it. Of course, we had plans to revive it. We had purchased stackers, but unfortunately, the ban has changed the decisions what we had made. Of course, iron ore, whether iron ore is also starting now. The mining permissions auctions have happened, few, I think few are going, and the dumps are being auctioned. So we see lot of potential for iron ore cargo. Whether iron ore or any other cargo, we had already planned to redevelop berth number 9. It will be made. Presently, we are not able to handle any cargo because it is a caisson structure. It is not a proper wharf. You can't take the trucks. So we want to develop it as a multi-cargo berth with special focus or provision for iron ore handling. We have already appointed a consultant for designing the berth. I request the iron ore industry or any other industry, if you have any requirements, any specific inputs you want to give, you are welcome. Because this is the stage we can do planning. After construction, if we wanted something else, of course we are taking care, we are having a vision of next 50 years, not now. So we will take care of every requirement, but still your inputs are welcome. We expect the tendering process would be completed somewhere by end of this year. The approvals, other things, we need approval from the Government of India, which we will be going to government somewhere in the month of September. So by December, January, all approvals will be in place. We expect about 24 months to construct this berth. By end of 2026 or 2027 or beginning of 2028, this berth will be ready for operations. Another important point is we are planning this berth to handle Cape-size vessels. So we are designing the berth in such a way that the future requirement of the trade will be taken care. Now the bulk business is more on economies of scale. The volume matters. And that is the reason we are designing this berth to handle Cape-size vessels, maybe about 19.5 meters. We have also a plan to dredge our approach channel to 19.5 meters so that we can bring the Cape-size vessels. Recently we have got the environmental clearance. We have appointed a consultant, we are appointing a consultant for doing a DPR, and of course this project may take little more time. It may not happen in sync with the berth number 9. Maybe we expect about within 4 years of time we would complete this. Of course, we are seeking government assistance. Government is also very keen to have deep draft berth at major ports. Apart from the infrastructure, we are also taking care of the environment. You know, Goa is very sensitive to the environment. Our another PPP operator, JSW, has constructed a dome spending about 180 crores for storing the coal cargo. This is again a complete change towards our approach in environment. I think you must have seen how we were handling coal in berth number 10, 11, maybe about 15 years back or 20 years back. But how we handle coal now, what measures are taken, that is more important, I can say. The other terminal also is taking measures, not only JSW. So our intention is we need to protect the environment. We take all steps for pollution mitigation. We have recently laid a pipeline from Baina STP to the port to utilize the treated water for pollution mitigation measures. All this time, except a little portion of STP water, we used to use fresh water for pollution mitigation. Now that is another step we have taken. We have installed a 3 megawatt solar power in our colony. That is again showing our commitment to the environment. Then we are also planning to have another 2 megawatt solar power. It is in a very basic planning stage. It would take some more time. We are completely revamping our firefighting facility at berth number 8. The berth number 8, we handle all liquid cargo, oil cargo, POL. Though the cargo is maybe about 1 million, the risk is there. So we have already started the work. I think it would be completed by March end. In addition to that, we are replacing the buoys, we are hiring a new pilot launch, new security launch for providing services. Our tugs are there. This is what in the near future we want to develop the port infrastructure. We are open, ready to provide any kind of services. We would like to request you give any suggestions, any improvements you want, we are open to it. I think my time is already over. There is one more announcement I would like to make. In October, from October 27th to 31st, Government of India is organizing a Maritime India Week at Mumbai. A prelude to that, we will be having a road show on 12th of September. We will communicate to you the details and invitations also. I request all the trade fraternity to participate in that road show. But that's all, I will not take much time. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. May I now invite Shri Pravimal Abhishek, IAS, Managing Director of Goa-IDC, to share his insights on how the revival of container services will strengthen Goa's industries and boost economic growth. Sir, we warmly invite you to address the gathering.
A very good morning to one and all. I firstly congratulate the Marmugao Port Authority and Delta Ports for this long-awaited but much needed operationalization of the container terminal at Marmugao Port. A warm welcome to Honorable Minister for Industries and also Honorable Chairman for Goa Industrial Development Corporation. Some of you might be wondering as to what is it this has got to do with the Goa Industrial Development Corporation and why we have collaborated with Delta Ports and Marmugao Port Authority to organize this event. So just to, without taking much time, I wanted to kind of just tell us like a small story as to why this is a very, very important meet and what is something that we really need to overcome. Because I was discussing when Mr. Vishnu Prasad had met me a few months back, I was constantly asking him, when are you operationalizing the container terminal port? Give me a deadline so that all the MSMEs can get benefit of the exports. So one day he came to me and he told me, sir, we are ready with the infrastructure, but unfortunately we are not able to get the bookings. Still people are trying to go to JNPT and export it through Nhava Sheva, traveling all the way by road all the way up to Nhava Sheva. So this made me reminded of some story that I had in Arunachal Pradesh, which I thought like I'll just share instead of talking about the technicalities of the sport and all that. So I was a collector of East Kamen district in Arunachal Pradesh, This is how beautiful the district is. And that was the deputy collector's office over there on the corner. Lessons in the hills and directly facing China. While it is that beautiful, it's also culturally very rich. I literally got coronated on every public function I attended with a sword in hand. But these are the challenges of the district. That I went to a village visit in the morning, and when I was returning back, there was no road literally, and we had to literally go through the river to cross that. And fortunately, the car could cross the river. If it was late, I think I could have got stuck on the other side. So what this has led to is, during COVID, our district was literally disconnected from the rest of the India, and I ate aloo for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner for almost 7 days. Literally 7 days, because there was nothing available in the district, because most of our agriculture produce, including eggs, chicken, everything came from Assam, and there was absolutely zero local production. And there was so much of other issues with respect to the local women not participating in the economy, no agricultural activity happening in the district. So I thought, what exactly is the problem? And this brings me to the topic of trade. And then I tried to see what is the supply chain. And I'm just talking about cabbage as an example. So there used to be a market in Assam near Tezpur and Harmuti, and all our agricultural produce used to come from there. Because there is so much of a transportation cost, the price of cabbage, for instance, used to be almost 60-65 rupees per kilo. Tomatoes one day it costed almost 100 rupees per kilo, because whatever price the market vendors are setting in Tezpur used to be escalated by the local wholesalers and retailers, and finally the customer used to pay a very, very hefty price. So I thought, like, how to solve this problem. So 2021 I decided that I will never get stuck in this situation to eat aloo again for the entire week. And then we grouped in all these self-help groups across the district, trained them, brought so much of uncultivable land back into cultivation, and we brought seeds from Bangalore to make sure that we are getting good quality seeds, and we did organic cultivation of certain vegetables like cabbage, broccoli, and all these things. And I must tell you, this is the size of cabbage. Like the Assam cabbage was like very small, pale, and this is how thick green, and the cabbage used to be this massive. So for a reference, I also made one kid sit beside the cabbage to show how big and nutritious that cabbage was. So it was local produce, organic, very good. So obviously it should sell like a hot cake in the market. So while these retailers were buying it for 45-50 rupees from the wholesalers, the farmers were offering it at 15 rupees per kilo, and they were telling me that I will get it to the shop and sell. But after so much of hard work, not even one cabbage got sold in the market. And finally, we just had to, instead of wasting all that cabbage, we had to donate it to schools, we had to donate it to the Indian Army, and there was not even a single person who bought the cabbage that I showed you, which was super green, super big, and locally grown organic cabbage. What was the problem? The problem was not the product, the problem is the mindset, and the problem is the systemic issue. So because we were totally dependent on the Assamese markets, what they told is, see, if you are not buying cabbage and broccoli from us, we are not going to sell you the brinjal, corn, tomatoes, onions, anything whatsoever. So you buy from us, everything in the basket, whether you use it or not is immaterial to us, otherwise we are not selling anything for you. So therefore, the wholesalers did not want to take that risk, the retailers did not want to take that risk, and ultimately it's the consumer who had to pay that price. This was a real standard, like proper market anomaly that I observed. This is what I call as invisible tariffs. Today we are talking a lot about the Trump tariffs, but I feel there are so many invisible tariffs in our own systems which are preventing us to operate the market in the most efficient manner. What did we ultimately do? we decided the next year we will not only produce, but we will set up an independent market and we will diversify the products and we will not have any dependence on the local retailers. This was the market, this was the produce, and today there are 4,000 strong women cooperative society operating in the same district. In fact, this market got converted into a supermarket and they are able to sell not only in their district but also to the neighboring district. So it was like a very interesting story of breaking those trade barriers and improving the market efficiency. So I think in today's trade meet, the topic of discussion for all of us is about what are the invisible hidden costs or tariffs that we are looking at to operate the market efficiently for the Goan businesses, for the Goan economic landscape. Honorable Minister and Honorable Chairman have set this vision that Goa has to become the hub of logistics and warehousing. And if I get this feedback that despite making this container terminal port operational, and I did ask them to do a back of the envelope calculations, that there is almost 11 crore saving if we all use this port instead of going to JNPT, and almost 300 tons of carbon emissions to be mitigated. Even then, if people are choosing to go to JNPT, I feel that there is some other problem to it other than just the cost. And those are the invisible tariffs that we need to collectively break. And if we can break those invisible tariffs, there are so many MSMEs in Goa who can get benefited out of it. So many MSMEs that can access market opportunities overseas. And I hope this next 2-3 years will be the journey for Goa and Goan businesses. I extend my congratulations once again to Marmugawa Port Authority and Delta Ports, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I hope today's session will be meaningful for all of you and it will bring collective actions from all the businesses in Goa, because please remember that India's 12% of pharmaceutical exports go from Goa. So I hope collectively we will put our utilization and focus on Marmugawa Port, because that could benefit a lot of other MSMEs. Thank you very much and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Abhishek, for that insightful address. To mark the auspicious beginning of today's proceedings, we will commence with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. May I kindly invite Honorable Minister for Transport, Industries, Panchayat Raj and Protocol, Mr. Mervyn Godino, Mr. Alexo Reginaldo Lorenzo, Chairman, Goa-IDC, Mr. Vinayaka Rao, Deputy Chairperson, MPA Ports, Mr. Pravimal Abhishek, IAS, MD, Goa-IDC, Mr. Shamil Ahmad, Managing Director, Delta Ports.
Honorable Minister, Mr. Mervyn Godino, all the my MD, Mr. Abhishek, all distinguished gathering today, all the members of all the distinguished people of the Marmugawa Port Trust and Delta Corp. I would like to only say one thing, that in the IDC, we have really seen that your logistics takes a very big shape. And I was surprised to see that we are having people going all the way to Navi Mumbai and all that. And we are not having from our own port. I think it must be the system that is there. So I would call upon, in spite of so much changes we have made so many things that will help the industry. If we can help even some more, which will, in fact, whatever the logistics that are involved, even the cost will be reduced. So I think my MD has explained it nicely. He spoke about the garden he was having problems, and why his stock could not be sold. I think something like that, I think our Honourable Minister should step in, and the industry sector will try. Well, I do not wish to take a long time because we are running short of time, and my good wishes to everybody, whoever feels that they require more support from the IDC and from the industries. I think we are always there, and we look forward to having a very prosperous state, and a state where we will have a business grow, in the sense that not only the business we also have to look at how much local employment we can generate. I think if the local employment we can generate also will help, and not only that, we will have a better prosperous state. And I want to wish, we had such a nice gathering today, and I want to wish everybody all the best. May we have a very prosperous future ahead in Goa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring address. It is now my honor to invite our chief guest, Shri Mervyn Gudino, Honorable Minister for Transport, Industries, Panchayat Raj and Protocol, Government of Goa, to deliver the keynote address. Sir, we look forward to your words on the government's vision for Goa's logistics future and its support for port-led industrial growth for Goa.
Chairman of IDC and my good friend MLA from Kurtali, Mr. Reginaldo Lorenzo, all the Vimal Abhishek, the MD of IDC, and also my Director of Transport, all the officials from and senior people who have come from MPA, also from Delta Ports, and all of you. I'm just saving some time, because I am supposed to be the protocol minister, and I'll be breaking protocol if I am not there in time for the swearing in. I'm sorry, I'll have to leave very soon. But it is really heartening that this Trade Meet 2025 is taking place for very important deliberations, which is actually the need of the hour. Just yesterday, Honorable Chief Minister and I were there at a similar function organized by GCCI as well as others, simply because as to how to move forward, how to make it easy for businessmen, where is it that we can do cost cutting, where is it that we need to shore up ourselves so that the logistics, which is most important for any business, becomes even easier. I don't have much time, so I will say a very few things. First of all, I am happy that revival of container services from Mormugao port is taking place, and almost, I think, if I am not mistaken, even the 2 cranes which I had earlier criticized MPA for I had rather at a public function I had called them saying that why is this not happening? This is the most necessary thing. Remember one thing, Mormugao Port Authority and their port is a natural resource which we are not utilizing to its fullest. Now, for the future, as you know, we have planned both the container services as well as that cruise terminal which is coming up there. But I want and desire that this should be utilized to the fullest extent. Because when you are going to have, ours is a tourism state, nevertheless we have one of the best manufacturing being done from Goa. Pharmaceutical company is a vivid example as to being from a small state as well, contributing more than 8% of entire pharmaceutical produce in the world is no mean thing. But I am quite surprised and astonished that efforts did not come from them to try and use our port. Now port is making effort because it came up in various fora that you improve the infrastructure there, including the cranes. Now that they are doing it, why should this additional cost reoccur again and again, transport it all the way to JNPT, which is a huge journey, have the medicines or the stuff refrigerated and sending it all the way. You will get it right here at MPT, who will handle the containers. You have 2 airports, whether MOPA or Dabolim for that matter. Why not use our own resources, something what is available here? I am sure at the end of the day, when you have discussed, when you deliberate, you will be bringing all these things on the table. Give the government a concrete plan. Tell us what we have to do as well. We have not been found lacking as far as taking those particular policies or changing those particular regulations where it gives you ease of doing business. For example, IDC is also a classic example of where we have made everything very transparent, right from leasing of plots, right from locating where land is available and seeing where industry can be set up. As against this background, a new industrial policy which came up when I became industries minister. Thereafter, we brought a brand new warehousing and logistics policy. Even if it needs little more tweaking, we are ready to do where it can help you people. In fact, I always say, and I want to reiterate here, my dream is to make Goa the largest trading hub which can happen. And it will happen with all of you contributing meaningfully in a planned manner. We have to combine our synergies. You have to have it first in your mind. Mere planning and mere thinking will not be enough. We have to execute those plans. The first thing I want to signal, I want to emanate that logistics is building up in a big way, is getting your cranes fully utilized with the container services. Instead of traveling all the way to Mumbai to JNPT port, the day this happens, you will realize, yes, things have started happening. Other things will follow automatically. To my knowledge, and I am privy to the fact that so many other people, big and small, have already taken up sheds, land for storage. They are thinking Goa will be the real hub where we can get things from elsewhere, though they are manufactured elsewhere, through containers, get it here and then send it to the rest of the world. For various, and the geopolitical situation in the world actually demands that there should be such places which have to develop to sustain and to bring down the cost as far as logistics is concerned. So all this will happen only if all of you cooperate and come forward. Transportation, as you know, is a big problem, particularly the taxis, and every time I speak, I get reactions where people coming on the road. Even the Goans here resist change. They don't want to go, they say don't want the app. And we as a political class sometimes place to the gallery because everyone knows 1.5 years from here we have to face elections. But I have stood my ground even in the last election. Even though my constituency is Dabolim, I have the Dabolim airport, I took a big risk. That is what I told Goa Chamber of Commerce the other day, that particular function. Because anyone can be a minister, anyone can hold any position. But when we are the politicians holding those positions, you have to be a statesman. You have to think overall what is good for Goa, what is good for Goans, what is good for building up industry, which will result into Goa contributing lots to our exchequer as well as the country as at large. So this is what we have to aim for. Gone are the times now with tariffs being imposed by US. You have a very, I would say, not so amenable person to ideas which actually are right, but he will do what he wants, our American president. So we are facing that thing. But I also want to say one thing, just as after the Pokhran blast in 1998, So many sanctions were imposed. What happened? Indians, all of you, I count, rose to the occasion. We were able to overcome that. Today, in fact, we have the best of startups. We have the best of things, what happened technologically, and that's how Chandrayaan 3 happened. We had parts manufactured by our Goans for that particular aircraft. Today, lot of things are happening in a similar manner. So our people will rise to the occasion, and you must rise. Maybe sometimes if it is said it is a stepping stone to further growth. Some failures as to not being able to negotiate because of his whims and fancies, he does what he wants. But we have to use it as an opportunity, and we are already leveraging that. China also is now coming closer to do more business. So I think ultimately we will not suffer, because the world recognizes what is the strength of our country. The world recognizes India is a huge market. The world recognizes that India has the potential and skilled people, the manpower, the scientists, the engineers, the doctors, everybody is there. Goa itself produces so many of these educated people. So I want all of you, by your deliberation here, plan to improve the logistic costs that are involved. Coming to Goa should cost them less. You sending your goods outside for export should cost you less. It will only happen through all the minds coming together, germinating in those ideas which will help industry. I don't want to say more because I will be late. As I said, I will be breaching protocol. All of you will have to please excuse me, because I have to just go to Raj Bhavan along with my friend. I wish I could have spent more time. In fact, what comes at back of my mind is only that I have to go. So I have not been able to say much as well. But I know that all of you from Goa-IDC, from MPA, as well as from the Delta ports coming together, certainly good ideas will emerge. You will come forward and give us a very practical plan as to what we need to do. We want that feedback. When, as you have seen, Goa is no more the Goa of yesteryears. It has changed a lot. And in these changing circumstances, we don't want to lose out and loosen out good things that are there. We want to strengthen the system to make industry thrive, to make organizations like Delta Port or MPA do much more business than what they have imagined, and we will be certainly acting as a catalyst in this direction. Saying this, I would like to thank all of you for being here, and see that your deliberations come in such a way with really good ideas. Thank you very much indeed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries from the Port Authority, Customs, esteemed importers and exporters, and my friends from the media, and distinguished guests. It gives me a great pride to welcome you all for this trade meet 2025. Goa has always been a natural maritime gateway situated on India's western coast. Goa Port has a rich legacy as one of India's oldest ports. With modern infrastructure, deep draft berths, multimodal connectivity and proximity to industries, the port is uniquely positioned to serve as a hub for feeder services and cargo movement. Our goal is clear: to re-establish Goa as a container hub, reducing dependence on distant ports, minimizing logistics costs, and giving shipper faster and more efficient turnaround. With the signing of 30-year concession agreement with Goa Port Authority, Delta Ports has taken charge of berth 10 and 11. This is not just a business contract, it is a commitment to trade community for the next 3 decades. We bring with us 4 decades of experience in logistics and port operations across India, Oman, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Our leadership has worked with all major shipping lines: Maersk, MSC, CMA, CGM, Hyundai, ONE, Hapag-Lloyd, ensuring reliability, efficiency, and global best practices. At Delta Ports Marpagua Terminal, we have invested heavily in state-of-art facilities with 2 hybrid Liebherr mobile harbor cranes of 125-ton capacity, reach stackers, trailers, reefer points for refrigerated cargoes, secured container yard with expandable capacity, dedicated hazardous cargo handling area with full safety compliance, seamless road connectivity to NH17 through our prime flyover project. For vessel operators, we promise faster turnaround times supported by optimized yard management and minimal congestion. For importers and exporters, we offer quicker logistics solutions closer to your factories and warehouses, reduced inland costs compared to routing cargo through distant ports, dedicated reefer points for temperature-sensitive shipments, hazardous cargo, safety zones, ensuring compliance and risk reduction. Our focus is not just operations, it is value creation for your business. Looking ahead, Delta Ports is committed to growing container traffic to 30,000 TEUs by 2027. Installation of container scanners by the custom for faster clearance is being done right now by the customs department. Introducing electric cranes in the future and handling equipments to cut our emissions, and investing in green power like solar roofed warehouses to ensure sustainable growth. We believe efficiency must go hand in hand with sustainability. This revival of container trade from Goa will succeed only through collaboration. We invite feeder operators to expand connectivity, and we welcome importers and exporters to use Goa as your preferred gateway. Delta Ports is not just offering infrastructure, we are offering a partnership where your growth becomes our growth. Delta Ports is on a journey of evolution and evaluation with world-class facilities, experienced leadership, and vision for sustainable growth. We are ready to serve you. Let us together make Goa a thriving container hub once again, efficient, sustainable, and globally connected. Thank you. In terms of faster, quick turnaround times, I would like to say we are already in discussions with a lot of technology partners to bring the latest advanced technology to our terminal. With this, we should expect a quick turnaround times and improve in your logistics time. Thank you.
We now move to the core of this initiative, the modernization of Delta Terminal at berth number 10 and 11. May I invite the Delta Ports engineer, Benedicto Andrade, to present the recent infrastructure upgrades, increased cargo handling capacity, and the safety and operational enhancements at the terminal.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, with respect to please turn on the mic. Okay. So, with respect to the infrastructure at Delta Ports, so I will briefly run through what we have done, and majorly we will look at the plot area synopsis. What is the area which we have been provided by MPA? Then we will look at the infrastructure initiatives what we have taken, and later we will look at the focus on the container terminal. So now with respect to the plot area, so we have a berth area of 525 meters and 25-meter width. So this is for the berth 10 and 11, and over and above that we will try to extend the berths for our support for the bulk cargo, which we will move directly to the storage area. Then we have covered shed areas for hydroscopic materials. So we have 3 sheds. So one shed is 8,000 and rest 2 are 5,000 meters square. So we have around 18,000 meters square of covered shed area which we are having. Then we will have bulk area cargo, which will include also the containers and all. And depending on the shipment wise, they will be stored. So we have around 42,000 meters square of area for the bulk cargo and containers. Then we have the paved area and roads, which we will be further implementing in a versatile way so that we can also keep bulk cargo and containers bifurcating each other. So this paved area will be around 19,000 meters square. We will have our own office space within that so that our clients are effective, we have an effective management and communication system with them. And the total area which we have is 1,13,000, from which there is also space available. So we are, with our further investments and further opportunities we are finding, we will also look at diversifying the remaining areas. Next, as Deputy Chairman Sir mentioned, so we have 2 cranes, which are the LHM 425 Liebherr cranes, which were commissioned in April 25. And the maximum ton hoist capacity is around 125 metric tons with a boom radius of 48 meters. So they are 100% speed control, that is 0 to maximum speed. And the option is also available through joystick movement, so for the rapid access for the operator to work anywhere throughout. And they have electronic controlled acceleration, deceleration, which gives the opportunity for a faster movement of the cargo. They are dual drive systems, so we have a complete state of the art wherein we can use it via diesel and also via the electric, so it's a 750 kilowatt. So the electric version we are at the moment installing. This is majorly ABB motors which we'll be invested in. And then we have the hoisting is around 120 meters per minute to 18 meters per minute, and 360 degrees slewing is there in it. And the lifting means it can move also during lifting process. Further on, we have also gone for LiDAR smart application. This is with respect to IoT, so that we can also monitor how our operators are operating, what cargoes we are getting, what efficiencies we are getting, and to improve the performance of our movement. So this will also provide us some real-time analysis on the crane performances, and it will also improve our further cargo movement, etc. So recently, as I mentioned in April, now in June, as our Vice President had mentioned, that we have completed good benchmarks. So I would appreciate everyone for a round of applause for Delta, considering that we have made these achievements with 30,000 just in one single day. Next is with respect to the electrification. So we have got a load sanction of 2778 kVA for 33 kV HT. So from that we have invested in a 1000 kVA transformer for the 415 volt supply, and we have 1500 kVA transformer for the crane supply. So this is what we have been put forward, and we have also got these transformers, and it is in presently installation phase, and also we have got the load sanctioning approval, so the cables installation and all is going on. So within the 415 volts, we have around 20 numbers feeders which will cater to the various panels which will be there. So these are all dry type of transformers, so that we do not have any pollution aspects and all, maintaining the sustainability, so they are cast resin transformers. And over the period, we have also gone ahead on the board, we have installation 3 locations, so that it can cater to the HMC cranes, the power supply at various locations. So a crane can stand at anywhere location across the berth area. as mentioned, for the hydroscopic nature of cargo, we are having the T1, T2 and T3 shed. So T1 shed is around 7,700 meters square, which is 140 meters length and 55 meters span. So to avoid get the best efficiency from this shed for the extra coverage, we have gone with a single span of 55 meters, and the shed is around, over the single span we are getting around 370 ton of steel, which we are actually going to put in for the complete construction of this, which is going on at the moment. Fabrication is going on. Further painting also, we have gone for C5I type of paint, so that considering the sea nature and the cargoes which will be using, maybe fertilizer or other cargoes which are also corrosion resistant. Then we have the T2 and T3 shed. So these T2 and T3 shed also is around 45 meters span, and similar ways we have also done the rehabilitation of the civil, which is the concrete work and all, to attain this load, so that the T2 and T3 shed is around 270 tons of steel also here. These are at the moment in erection, so in September we should have these sheds ready. And these will be also looking in future, as our MD sir mentioned, that we will have also in terms of solar panels on them. So we are looking at targeting 40% of the area. So based on our workout, we'll get around 496 kilowatt peak DC on T1 and 308 kilowatt peak DC on T3. Next is in providing an environment friendly and sustainable solution. So we are having the mobile unloading hoppers. So these mobile unloading hoppers, which are presently in fabrication, you can see the models and the drawings. So this is majorly for the sustainable and environment friendly, wherein we'll have a 75 meter cube hopper that the grab will directly discharge through it. We have a dust collector system to avoid any dust pollution. And this will be also with vibro motors for similarly hydroscopic nature of cargo. We will have hydraulic gates, hydraulic jacks, and the tipper can come directly below it, load the cargo and go forward. Then next, with respect to fertilizer bagging, other products bagging, we are also investing in a bagging system. So this will be an automatic bagging system which will be providing a capacity of 90 tons per hour. So this will include the bagging system, weighing system, stitching machine, all automated, including directly to the loading conveyor to the rakes as such. Next, we have already in operation the automatic weigh bridges. So this is a 60 ton, 100 ton two weigh bridges, all calibrated. These are actually with complete digitization and automation we will be looking at. So already MPA has rolled out the robust and smart RFID system which we know about. So this is giving us the real-time data of the vehicles which are coming in and going out. And through this, our weigh bridge is directly automated with the boom barrier, with the cameras and the RFIDs. So there is no manual intervention in this way. Then we have the pollution control measures which we are taking in, from the conventional methods of tarpaulin covers to we have a mist cannon which is all-in-one mist cannon which we can provide for firefighting, road sprinkling and also road cleaning. We have a separate sweeping machines. Then we have windbreakers, we have dust breakers. We are also looking at bifurcating the berth 10 and 11 when we have different type of cargos, so that the dust elimination is there during the discharge operation. Then we have options wherein we are looking at also brushes with forklifts, so that the cargo is swept off immediately. So these are all the investments done for that. And in future we will be looking at also mist cannons at higher levels, wherein we can directly douse the with water at 200 meters length, reaching both the sides of the berth. Now coming to the container yard, this is the existing outlook, and below, sorry that you cannot see it, but that is the model what we are developing. So we have the Rapiscan station for the customs, and further down we have the area which is being modeled for the container yard. So based on the distance from berth number 10, we have it's around 100 meters, and from berth number 11 it's 200 meters. From the national highway, it is around 350 meters. So, and the area which we have modeled presently is for 1000 TUs capacity, wherein south and west corners will be allocated for the reefers, then north for the empty containers, and rest for loaded containers based on the shipping. We have looked at going for reach stackers, so we have 3 reach stackers with 3 reach stacker heights and linear type of layouts, so that there is a smooth movement of containers during loading operations. Further, we have also employed ex-GM Bakshi consultants and also consultants from Mundra, which will also enhance the planning of the container arrangements in and around our facilities, and also to help and minimize the congestion and ensuring smooth operation. So space utilization, as I mentioned earlier in the layout, then container we can 20 feet, 40 feet, they will be bifurcated at different locations. The weight distribution, we have already done the feasibility studies and we have noted down, so we have at the moment available 500 kPa, so we can go to 3 to 4 stacks high. And for modern container terminals also it's applicable. So presently going to see in terms of space utilization, we have just taken 1000 TUs with 12% space utilization of our whole area. We can go much ahead also further. With respect to the reefer points, so as mentioned, we have around 100 reefer plug points. They are refurbished and available, and further we are also looking at DG backup, so we'll have 62.5 kVA DGs for just the 3 stacks of the reefer points. These all refurbished panels of the reefers for earthing is revised, and all MCCBs and ELCBs also have been included in this. And we will have also our technicians, electrical interfaces also, their engineers will be there for 3.3 and 33 kVA also on 24/7 basis. Further, with respect to safety, we have gone ahead and we have also implemented job safety analysis. So for each job, we look at having preparation of JSA, we review it, approve it, so that there are no untoward accidents. Then we also make it compulsory that when we are bringing in material, even for construction purpose, we have the material certificates, test certificates available. Then we have also employed LOTO, that is lockout, tag out, and also test out. So then we have also the permit system implemented. So this is, other than MPA's permit system, we have created our own in-house permit system. So for any hot work permit or general work permit, so we will be issuing permits for the jobs which are being going on. Then we are managing isolations also. So with respect to isolation, we will be looking at, or rather presently for the construction phase, we are going in where only a senior management person is involved in approving the permits. So they are aware of what is the operational activities also going on and what are the construction activities going on. So whenever there is a maintenance breakdown, the permit will have to be followed. And considering we are on a 24/7 basis, the jobs should be happen faster with already the permits available at our end. And also every shift we will have in the starting toolbox talk, and we have also first aid trainings going on and mock drills also which we take place. Further, we are also looking at for the container system a web-based API solution for the container yard management system. So this is already in discussion with some parties. And to sum up at the end, we are looking actually at a smart port goal. So wherein the complete infrastructure development is towards technology also. So where we have cyber security measures, like for example in the Way Bridge we have already employed a firewall. Then environment monitoring and sustainability, where we will also look at air mist cannons at a higher speed everywhere where equipments we are putting, we are also trying to get into dust collector systems. Then with respect to connectivity solutions also, we will be looking at cloud servers available for our documentations in future. Then for traffic management system, now with the way bridges, we will be also employing traffic signals and automated through the RFID. And thanks to the push from MPA, wherein they have already started that at the main gate. And for Internet of Things, IoT, we are also having the LiDAT application, wherein we are monitoring the crane performance through day in and day out. Thank you. So I'm looking forward to a lot of containers based on the infrastructure we have developed. Thanks a lot.
We now come to an important highlight of today's meet, the panel discussion on charting a new course for synergizing stakeholders to revive and expand Goa Port's container services. May I now call upon the panelists, Mr. Vinayaka Rao, Deputy Chairperson, MPA, Mr. Shamil Ahmed, MD, Delta Ports, Mr. C.M. Muralidharan of Unifeeder, Mr. Kishore Pravat of Deccan Chemicals, and the panel discussion will be moderated by Mr. Jerome Clement.
I welcome all the audience. At the same time, I welcome the panelists, the experts who will give an insight as far as the container operation is concerned. So before we start the panel discussion, I would request the expert to take a few minutes, introduce yourself in one or two lines, and then what are your area of expertise, if that is told, and then after we will start the panel discussion. Thank you. Kishore can start.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Kishore Parab. I'm a Vice President Supply Chain for Deccan Fine Chemicals, looking after the procurement, import, export, and the customer relations for this site, Deccan. Deccan is an agrochemicals manufacturing company. Probably we are the largest importers, exporters from Goa. We do a trade of about 2,500 crores annually. With the number of TUs could go anywhere between 2,800 to 3,000. Site is in operations at this location close to Old Goa. That's about 14 kilometers from Panjim, and this is a site which is there for almost about 45 years, and we are an export-oriented unit. Currently doing a trade through Navashiva. Hit badly there. We will if I get an opportunity later, I can explain little in depth how this is affecting our operations today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishore. It's wonderful to have you over here because you will be taking the interest of all the importers and exporters. Well, I think we can have informal interactions while we have our lunch at the later time and have more discussion with Kishore. Over to Deputy Chairperson from MP.
Hi everyone, I am Vinayaka Rao. I am the Deputy Chairperson of Mormugao Port Authority. You all know Mormugao Port Authority is there since 1885, and our interest is to give service. Of course, containers stopped for some time and we want it to revive. Let all of us work together. Let the Goa port and Goa get the benefit of the container traffic what is going now presently to Navashiva or some other port. So we have the capability, we have the infrastructure, we have a good service provider available for all of you. So let us look forward to have the container business in our port. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you rightly said, we are the facilitator and service provider, and I believe we will make most use of this. Now we have got an important person because any container movement happens through a vessel, And we have Unifeeder's Mr. Muralidharan over here. I will request him to kindly introduce yourself and say something about it.
Thank you. CM Muralidharan, Regional Director of Unifeeder. Unifeeder is a part of DP World Group. DP World is one of the largest terminal operator and integrated logistics service provider. We operate terminals, we have rail logistics service, we have cold warehouses and normal warehouses, transport. So everything for the logistic product, we have everything as a group. Unifeeder is one of the largest feeder operator across the world. We are connecting Indian ports with most of the overseas ports. We are operating around 150 plus ships as on today. And within this India subcontinental, we are operating around 35 to 40 ships. Within India, we are operating at 10 container ships, Indian flagship, which we provide the coastal multimodal service along with maximum transshipment. So this is in line with the government of India, Sagarmala, like we are connecting from Gujarat to right up to southeast, all 12, 13 major ports in India, providing a fixed day service into our customers. And today, thank you very much for inviting me to part of this event. It's my great privilege, and we are looking forward how to again restart a service from Goa. We are exploring all possibility because earlier we had operated our feeder services from Mundra a few years, but then unfortunately the port limitation, because we are operating a gearless vessel, so at that point of time the infrastructure facility was not to handle our ships, so then we had to stop that service. But today, looking at all these presentation and Deputy Chairperson has mentioned the development which happened in this port. So we are very keen to restart a feeder service from Marmagaon port connecting into Mundra is in Gujarat, which is one of the largest transshipment port today. And why we are looking at Mundra, we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are operating all our ships from Mundra to Far East, Red Sea and African ports all over the place. It's a direct service from Mundra to all, even Norshave also. But apart from that, I would say most of the main lines are operating their services right up to US, Europe, all ports from Mundra. So this is the way how we are operating today. We are connecting all the cargo from southeast ports to Mundra for onward connection. So same way, those services, how we can add Goa port, that is what we are working out, and maybe moving forward I'll explain more what is our. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Muralidharan. Definitely, I will keep you busy in the next session so that we can hear more from you, the details and the nitty-gritty of your feeder lines and the routes and all. So I will not take much time. Then I will ask the main Delta operators, Delta ports, who is going to be the infrastructure provider, to explain in brief.
Yeah, I'm Shamil Ahmed again, Managing Director, Delta Ports, Marmagaon Terminal. So what I want to say is that what the exporter-importers feel the pain in while exporting or importing. We have gone through this process as a logistics provider to a lot of exporters and importers. So we know the pain involved in your daily transactions and everything. So we would definitely want to cut down on that and leave the logistics to us, so that you focus on your main core production or exports oriented of the containers, rather than focus on logistics. So this is what I want to say, that a lot of changes will be done from your previous experiences. You will have a better, much better experience is what I can say.
Thank you, Shamil. Now we will start the questions to the main feeder operator. I will start with feeder operator because that is where we start the container operation. So Mr. Muralidharan, what I would like to know, how do you assess the market dynamics and logistics requirement of Goa as a feeder hub? And what factors such as the route, sailing frequency, connectivity and cost competitiveness will determine its success?
Yeah, thank you. So as I briefly mentioned earlier, we are operating we are well connected with all Indian ports, with the world major ports. What we are looking at while adding Goa, the potential, we are aware about the potential because we are operating all across India. So we know what are the potential available. More than that, we have already operated our ships from Goa. As I mentioned, because of some reason we had to stop. But so there is a good potential according to us, which today the cargo, the earlier section also, the speaker said, this cargo is moving all the way by road to Navasheva. Which today, as I mentioned, the coastal shipping, the government of India is also looking at developing a coastal shipping, because this is going to help the dream of government of India to reduce the logistic cost from double digit to single digit. So I would say this is the only way, as government initiative, we are also investing a lot as a group to develop this coastal and exim transshipment within India. So that is what I said, we are also operating 5 terminals now, one in Mundra, 2 in Navasheva, one in Cochin and one in Chennai, and one is under construction, it's a mega terminal, it's in Gujarat, Tuna. You must have had this awarded recently and the construction already started. So port side, we are also investing a lot in India, and the other sector also, I said, the integrated logistics solution, which includes rail logistic and road, warehousing, everything So the today the cargo which is moving all the way right up to Navasheva, which can be connected by sea from here to the another transshipment port, then from there it's a one-way connectivity. It's not like earlier, the connectivity such a way. We are operating all our ships. The capacity of our ships is 1700 TEUs to 3500. So all size of ships are available today. According to the location requirement, we have splitted our vessels or services, how we are operating into east and south and west, the availability of draft, and there are so many factors in that. And accordingly, we have splitted our service. So while adding Goa, our rotation will be from Mundra to Cochin, Mangalore, Goa, straight away to Mundra. From there, then the vessel schedule also today, how we are operating, it's not the cargo is going to lie there in Mundra. We are also looking at the main lines, how they are operating. We are also looking at our services, so accordingly, without much delay, we will connect all those cargo. This is the way how we are operating all other ports, and which we will operate from Goa also. So what do we need today operating a ships I don't have to mention that everybody knows it's not only the ship operating, the cost everywhere it's going up. Chartering your ship or buying your ship, operating your ship, it's a costly affair. So what we are looking at today, as I mentioned, we are operating with a fixed window all the ports. So what we need a support from the Goa Port Trust, support from Delta for getting a berth, on arrival, and dedicated handling facilities, because again and again I'm repeating, waiting for a berth or the lack of infrastructure, the delays, which today's the scenario, it's then difficult for an operator to operate. So that is what we are looking at. And plus, of course, when we bring the vessel, we need a support from the trade, and I'm sure, with the kind of industry is available, the cargo, river cargo, which is moving right up to, Chinese ports, as I mentioned, we have a direct sailing to Lamchapam, all those ports, where the cargo is moving. Apart from us, as I mentioned, the main line is, So this is what we are looking at, and we have the inventories, containers today, 1,20,000 containers, we have different kind of, type of containers. Which includes a good amount of reefer and 40 feet, 20 feet tall. So 1,20,000 TEUs we have our own. And again, I'm repeating, it is not the service is not for our own business. We are a common feeder service provider. So all mainlines is also, our customers, they are here, So we are looking at the support from mainliners, trade and ports. Then definitely, I think, I'm sure, not I think, I'm sure, we can get into that good level of, this thing from Goa to a place. So this is what a brief,
Thank you, Muralidharan. basically when you said like you require the support and all the facilities from the Delta as well as from MPA. So I will come back to you again asking you, what will make Goa an important hub for you. But before that, I would like to ask the port, Deputy Chairperson, what is the long-term vision of Goa Port for reviving and expanding its container service? And what specific policies, investment and infrastructure upgrades are being planned to attract the stakeholders involved in this?
Yeah, well, as I was talking in the morning, so Goa port was basically predominantly an iron ore port, mono commodity port. So we thought of shifting from mono to multi commodity port, and iron ore almost we started coal, we started other cargo. So but iron ore again went into trouble. So again we became more of a mono commodity. The container has a potential. Yes, we can have the container operations at our port. Now we have the PPP operator with us, who is providing the entire container handling services with the state-of-art harbor mobile cranes, what you have already seen. Now coming to the port side, I think we would extend basically the marine services and the common user facilities. The common user facility, as I said already, we have a beautiful road available. We have a digital initiative. We have taken an automated gate system. And as regards the marine services, yes, I think your request for on arrival or window, we are open to it. We will definitely have container movement to start and the faster turnaround. We would be also interested in faster turnaround. Now coming to the logistics cost, I think he has already mentioned. Now we are yet to recommence the container services. Yes, definitely there will be initial hitch. We are open for any kind of concession which is required till the volumes pick up. So we are open to it. Of course, we can give from the vessel related side. I think definitely we would be interested to recommence the container operations at any cost. So that is what I can say. Turnaround and window is very important. I think if Mangalore has a window facility, I think if that is the case, definitely we would also extend a similar window facility. I think we would be in sync with the Delta ports, and we will come up with a window. We'll work out a window. Other than that, the whatever support compliance part are from the other government agencies. If you need any kind of assistance, we will definitely pitch in, and we will extend our full support to have the containers here.
Thank you, sir. And I believe now with this assurance, Muralidharan definitely is going and will be looking forward to deploy feeder vessel very soon. And as he was asking again more support from the terminal operator's point of view. So I will request a question to Shamil, because he is a terminal operator and the director of this Delta ports. What challenges currently are you facing while handling container, and how technology and process improvement such as automation can overcome this?
So the main hindrance, the delay and other problems was the infrastructure. Now that we have got two mobile harbor cranes, then we have compared to the previous this thing, we are already double our capacity of handling containers. Second is the yard management. So automation plays an important role in efficiency of the cargo movement. We are also in discussion with vendors for having a complete automated yard management system, which will improve our turnaround time and also the efficiency in storage of containers in different location or different stack wise. It will be planned in the container yard. Apart from this, we have IoT devices and data analytics where we can know exactly when is the cargo coming, when is the cargo going out of the our terminal, and all these plannings can be done with the help of data analytics. And I also thank our chairman and the port authority that they have already in planning process for the 5G implementation in the port, which will definitely help in the future. Lot of other improvements will be coming in terms of digitization and other data. Apart from this, we are also in discussion with the customs to have our own, to deploy the own dedicated manpower to our terminal so that the clearance and other systems are improved and the turnover again gets increased, becomes faster.
Thank you, and I believe everybody present over here will be overwhelmed and happy to hear that, they will be coming up with the state-of-the-art yard management system, because when a container vessel starts, it always has to catch up with the next window which is available in the next port. So being a feeder, you cannot miss the window, because if you miss the window, then the logistic cost goes up. So I hope.
I also want to tell that we will definitely provide a fixed window for container vessels, which will definitely improve their turnaround times, so that they also have a planned voyage accordingly.
Yeah, that's a great news, because it all depends on the window. So once the customer knows there is a window, because ultimately what happens is the customer has to get his consignment on time. Although there is competition, but if you deliver it on time, then they will not see the cost of it. So thank you, sir, for your kind updates. So now over to the exporter, because basically, Kishore, you are the main importer and exporter of the maximum cargo. Now you are presently moving from JNPA. So basically, since you are already part of the MPA ecosystem in the past, I would rather ask you now, how can Goa port position itself as a reliable and cost-effective alternative for your trade requirements, and suggest way forward to attract specific types of cargo that will be routed through Goa port?
Yeah, thanks. I'll just take a few seconds just to congratulate the Delta, the Port Authority as well as Government of Goa to take this push forward for the container movement from Goa port. It's a long awaited and entire the industrial fraternity was waiting for that. What did impress me from the Delta, from the previous presentation given by an engineer, that the minute detail, of course, the infrastructure is new, it's highly impressive, and congratulate sir. What did impress me is the minute details the guy has gone into, and the operational and the safety, the way how he has described. From this kind of forum, someone is talking about the LOTO system, someone is talking about the permit to work, ELCB. I'm sure this has gone in much thought for this by the Delta. I'm looking forward for much, positively working with the port operator. I don't want to stress too much on too much of what is going wrong right now, but that's very much known. But couple of points. Today's movement of cargoes from the industry, they're moving either from Naushiva or now the newly established the ICD Bali. There are inefficiencies. I don't want to dwell too much into it, but definitely operational inefficiency is a part of it, as well as cost inefficiency. How industry is getting hit. Obviously, the longer transit time, delayed custom clearance, because now Shiva is becoming more and more congested. Container availability is also becoming an issue now with current issues in the trade. So this is putting us into the back foot. That is having a impact on the cost. Now how cost? Obviously, sir, I look at once we start with the container operator from Marmagua, I look at somewhere about 70% of the inland cost reduction. Most important for me is the faster taking BL. It affects, I look at today's all the customers are asking, considering the payment terms from the date of BL. So I look at somewhere about 10 to 15 days of time where I can have a faster realization that will have a big positive impact on our cost. There is additional buffer charges we are facing because of the congestion, lots of get in, get out cancellation which are happening. Obviously, warehousing cost, and because if we can have a faster turnaround of the containers, it will be a positive side on the cost for us. So when I look at all this, both the new initiative would have an operational efficiency as well as the cost efficiency for the exporters. Coming back to the specific question, Jerome, what you asked, how and what we are looking at is obviously Delta has to attract the major lines, shipping lines. That's the first and the prime force. I look at if you are able to connect to the Mundra alone, the total the shipping time would reduce by 10 to 12 days. That's going to be a big advantage for the exporters. If you are able to get the turnaround time less than 24 hours, I see Mundra, I was just looking at other day some reports saying that it's about 18 or 17 hours of turnaround today at Mundra. So if we are able to target that, it's going to be the plus point, because more and more lines would come. There are some past experiences where lines were not able to connect it to the port because there was a higher turnaround time. I'm sure Delta is looking into it. I could make out from the presentation. And then the warehouse which is there, if you can convert into a bonded warehouse, exporters, we are 100% EOU. There are many pharma export-oriented units. It will help them. And the last and important thing for what I suggest Delta to have some trade meet in Mumbai. Now the reason, because many of the decision makers for these pharma companies who is an export hub here, the decision makers are sitting in Mumbai, head offices. And that's exactly what has happened in the previous initiative where the vessel, we were not able to have that continuity. So requesting Delta to have some trade meet in Mumbai to attract the offices of the companies which are there here in Goa. That's it from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kishore. Thank you, Kishore, for your insight and way forward suggestions what you have put forth. And I believe if Shamil want to respond to this.
Yeah, regarding the warehouse, we'll definitely, we want your suggestions, what exactly are your requirements. So accordingly, we are welcome to your suggestions and we will definitely work towards it. We are very positive on for the warehousing as well.
Thank you, Shamil. And as rightly said by Kishore, what happened is basically, ultimately it depends on the turnaround of a vessel. And the customer cannot wait for the delay in the consignment. And with modernization and modern techniques which Delta Ports will be implementing, I believe all the customers will get satisfied with the services. Now Murli, it's up to you, just one question to you, how best is that we can attract lines to come to Goa and start the services? Because what happened, container is always when I was talking and interacting with they were always saying it's a chicken and egg story. If any lines wants to start, they will say where is the line available, feeder operator is available for the lines. And when I talk to the operator, they say, can you assure me the volumes? So this is what is been going around. So how best and what is the way forward we can attract Goa so that the services can start, the boxes can be moved from any lines which are any operators who can start the services only.
Yeah, thank you. No, this is what I said, earlier. It is very important, for a feeder operator, of course, we have our own container line, but that is not good enough. We need support from other mainliners. So I would say, what Kishore Bhai has mentioned, that is one of the important point, because most of the mainliners offices are there in Mumbai. So maybe we can have a joint kind of either the trade or the visit, along with the port or terminal operator, and from us, we can approach, because that is very important. We have to have a facility. It's not only if Unipeter is operating, may not be good enough for the trade, so that they have enough facilities they are available. So that is one part. We definitely need to approach the mainliners who are there in Bombay. We need to convert. Second, I was just discussing in the morning with a few reps for the trade. Everybody is felt that, last 3-4 years there was no container operation, and now the ecosystem is already set. Either the cargo is moving by road or by the ICDs, So we have to have that converting those business into the ship mode. That also we need a joint efforts, three of us, how to convert those business now again back to sea. Of course, with a feeder operator, I said, I am operating 150 plus ships. That is not important what is the number of ships we are operating, but today, how we are operating the ships, that is the reason I said I need a window, because it's not like my cost is going up by delaying. Along with that, customer is also suffering because the cargo is, if I miss one connection from Mundra, the cargo is lying there, So those kind of efficiency as a feeder operator today, that is the reason why we are present all over the place, because of our service level. That I can assure the trade, we will give a extremely high quality feeder service. That much we can assure from a feeder operator. Rightly, Deputy Chairman sir has mentioned the port side. I am very happy because that is also one of the part because we are going to start from the scratch now. So we need extreme support from the port and terminals, even infrastructure wise. Again, the commercial, Sadar, he already mentioned, so we are happy. So this is what the vessels which are operating, if the trade needs more tonnage, or it's not a problem for us to upsize, because as I mentioned, 10 ships we are operating, and we are again adding up the tonnage into our fleet. Then enough container we can provide. The main lines also there, so there's not a problem. Even the vessel which we are operating, we have 200 reefer per point. That is also one good thing. We can carry at least 150-200 reefer containers on our ships. From here. So this is what I say, operator, what I am looking at, initially we all need to put a lot of efforts jointly, to develop this business. As a feeder operator, yes, service level or whatever, that from our side, we can assure you that thing. So that's
Thank you, Murli, because I believe now the August House will be very happy to hear that you are ready to, start operations.
So just to add, and talk about only the EXIM transshipment, and as mentioned initially, we are almost moving around 20,000 containers within India in a month, 250, 3 lakh containers, millions of ton cargo we are converted from, roads into sea route. As I mentioned, the government of India's, initiative, to develop coastal shipping. So I'm looking at, apart from the EXIM transshipment, we are looking at developing a coastal multimodal, service in and out from Goa, because we can connect all the North India with Goa. There are a lot of industries. I'm sure, there will be a lot of cargo moving within India, whether it is to east or south or north, which also we can provide a service so that with the coastal multimodal along with the transshipment. So this is what I want to again stress on that.
Obviously, thank you, Muralidharan, because it has to be always a mix of, it cannot be, it cannot sustain on EXIM cargo only. Definitely there should be, coastal movement of boxes also. Then only the feeder operator can sustain in this business. I believe, I think from my side, I have almost covered everything, but still now I will not take much time, because I would like the audiences, to get your things clarified from the experts who are sitting over here. So any questions anybody can, ask, so that, you are satisfied, and then, you can start, starting the business from Goa Port through the Delta or through any feeder vessels who are interested in starting the vessel services from Goa. Yeah, please, can you give him the mic?
Yeah, my question is directed to MD of Delta Ports. Now, two questions I have. The first one is for a container terminal, you require a container repair and maintenance facility. Now, do you have that provision in your infrastructure? And my second question is, will you be able to meet your optimal capacity of your terminal with the exporters and importers from Goa? Or you're looking at the hinterland of Goa also?
The first question you asked regarding the container repair services. Yes, we'll definitely have repairs and container repairs within the port itself. We'll have some dedicated area where we can do all these activities, and as per the requirement of the agencies and the standards what the liners are looking at, we'll definitely have a dedicated space for that. Second question you asked was regarding the cargo from Goa. Definitely cargo from Goa is quite good from the responses we've got from the trade and industry. So apart from this, we'll definitely be tapping other hinterland cargos as well from Belgaum and other areas as well, which will definitely improve us in getting more feeder vessels, the frequency of the feeder vessels as well.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah. I think one can be in front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Namaskar. See, I was just going to the explanation or the presentation what was given. Just wanted to understand. The port authority need to create a ecosystem wherein the trade which are seated here, and wherein you urge us to move in case we are moving container from Nhava Sheva and to move to the from Goa. So let us have the SOP, what SOP you are going to have, so that we as a trade we should compare what the time we require to move container from Nhava Sheva to XYZ country, and in terms if at all we want to move it from Goa, so what would be the turnaround time? So that will be a beneficial for us as a trade to understand the turnaround time. And secondly, as we discuss on container movement out of the Goa, so do we have any plan for those vessels which will come here and which will help us as an importer to bring material instead of JNPT to Goa?
Okay, should I respond? Okay, one is what you was asking about importing. Definitely when we have these services, it will be not only export, it will also importing. Your material can come if you are connected to Mundra, and if your material is lying in Mundra, definitely it can come to Goa. Coming back to your SOP. Now, what is the lead time you require? It depends on you. Your customers, how are you serving? So if you can tell us, you are serving your customers within a few whatever days, we can definitely jointly work and come to a decision where we adhere to the customer's requirement. Thank you. Any more questions?
Yeah. Before I ask my question, I would just like to give one more counter question. You asked what is the lead time right now for the exporters. So it is around 7 to 10 days when our goods or consignment leave our factory in Goa and it reaches the Nhava Sheva port, and from there it starts sailing. It's around almost 7 to 10 days. So I would just like to know from either one of the panelists is what is the expected lead time if we do this delivery of the consignment from MPA. That is one. My question is there going to be a palletizing or a dock stuffing facility available in MPA going forward? Secondly, how many feeder vessels you are planning to start with? What is going to be the frequency? Weekly 1 or weekly 2? And the third, that's what, those two questions. The dock stuffing and what is going to be the expected lead time, and the third one is about the frequency.
Yeah, so we definitely have a LCL facility and the cargo consolidation. One of the clients from Belgaum, we have already in discussion. See, the cargo to come to the port, they usually right now they are using Navashiva port. So what is happening? They are sending, getting the container all the way from Navashiva empty to Belgaum and then loading and sending back to Navashiva. So here what we can do is we can get the cargo from the hinterland by trucks as well and load it at our facility. The stuffing can be done at that facility we will be providing so that the freight cost of is optimized. Apart from that, regarding the frequency, we will start with one feeder service and gradually improve as the volumes, as we get the good response from the trade. The third question I missed.
Lead time.
Lead time. I think the feeder would be.
I can add in case.
Yeah, Kishore, you can.
This is my view, the way I have seen the trade of late. But more importantly about the timings, you said about 7 to 10 days. I completely agree with you. Now let's look at a container that is moved from Navashiva, empty containers, you bring it to Goa, then you stuff it, send it back to Navashiva, another custom clearance. These are the standard times, but definitely the transit time could be anywhere between 7 to 10 days. Completely agree with you. What I'm looking at here is the lead time, what you are, or the transit time, because the time will start from the time when the vessel will leave from Navashiva. It all completely depends the frequency of vessel coming to Navashiva. So suppose if you are able to have a weekly 2 vessels and they are connecting either to Mundra or to Colombo, the time that what I'm looking at to reduce it at least by 7 days. So completely depend on the frequency of vessel. Important thing for to know is even otherwise the vessels which are going from Navashiva, they would take a route from Mundra. Nowadays most of the vessels are going. So suppose if this vessel is directly getting connected to Mundra, the transit time could be much lesser. So one is that the inland days reduction could be 7 to 10 days. And if this connectivity with the frequency of 2 vessels a week at Marmagua, if they are getting connected to Mundra, there is a substantial further reduction which could be additional about, if not a week, but at least minimum 5 days, 4 to 5 days, that could be a further reduction. This is my view, what I can see the trade and the vessel movement.
I fully agree with Kishore, and to add to it and to answer your question about frequency, it depends on the volume. I started with that only. If there is a volume, then there won't be any operator who will not be ready to come and pick up these volumes which are there. So it all depends on the volume. So if volume is there, definitely we can start with maybe fortnightly and then we can come back to weekly. That's what it had happened in the past. So the past history is there where we started with fortnightly and then we had weekly 2 calls. So obviously the volumes are there in Goa, and definitely when we are going for revival of the container services, this will happen in near future. Thank you. Any more questions?
So the feeder vessel will be taking along with the ice cargo also from Goa to Navashiva?
Yes. Any type of cargo, there is no restriction, like we can carry ash, but that depends your INCO class, but there are certain class which we cannot accept, but normally otherwise all hazardous cargo, reefer, this is what I said, there is no such restriction. And one more this thing, I think, sir, now you are moving by road, the cargo up to Navashiva is connecting that when you are getting a vessel gear, like I think maybe your ship down but VL you can get immediately, like well in advance, so that is one. And of course the safety of cargo, like once it's on board, like then I don't know how much is that risk by moving road, but on our ships, like
Roads are very bad.
so that is what I am saying, like these are the 2 things so I can look at, like when we start a service, like safety, and second now wherever I go, like wherever I meet the corporate client, the first input what I'm getting, like now everybody is looking for a carbon emission kind of, because there are going to be a like a kind of law, like Europe is already they implemented there, like here also we are always requesting government of India, like why don't we also look at like some kind of incentive based on that how much carbon emission the corporate customers are saving. So we are also, because today we don't have those kind of system to measure that exactly. But as a DP world, we are developing a system. We already started like providing those details to that customers. Like that is also one requirement is today, and that's going to be a strict kind of compliance maybe in future. So those are the another advantages what I can mention, like while moving a cargo by sea instead of road. So. And as far as our service is concerned, we are looking at initially a weekly service. Then maybe, as you rightly said, the cargo is there, then I think there will be another feeder operators also looking at. But initially, when any feeder, we are looking at a weekly one service. If the trade volume is there in more cargo, either we will upsize the ship or maybe we can add that maybe in the future. Thank you.
I'm delighted to know that we brought this point about the sustainability, because being an exporter, we are now being continuously asked for this carbon emission reduction in the scope 2. This is in the ESC, this is a scope 2 reduction of carbon emission, and this will, I'm sure this will add quite a lot to project ourselves to the customer. And this is being insisted by almost every customer in Europe as well as from US.
Hello. What wanted to say?
Yeah, adding to Muralidharan's point, I would also like to say that your support also will make a lot of difference in getting more feeder vessels. So the faster you support us, then definitely there will be more cargo.
Now there's somebody who wants.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. My customer import lot of material from China and Taiwan in containers. Their concern is that whether Goa would have the storage capacity in terms of in bonded warehouse, where they can get the material partially as per their requirement, and also with the CNF agent where they can park the material, because sometimes we have limitations in space in our warehouse, So we are also working in that direction, because they have their concern. That's why they have shifted to Nhava Sheva, where they have got these facilities, where the same facility will be there in Goa for storage.
Yeah, in terms of storage space, we definitely have, we can dedicate a separate warehouse or whatever requirement as per the trade. So if there is any requirement, you can come up with it, and we'll definitely support, and we'll definitely support the trade in terms of storage, warehousing and all those.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah.
I can add to it. If the volumes pick up, if storage is not sufficient, port also has certain land parcel outside the port limits, so which is well connected by road. I think we can offer that also for the container, either CFS or any kind of stuffing, destuffing requirements. I think we can think.
Yeah.
I think I was just one point of, I think the last query I want to reply. What I observed is everyone is looking at individually, whether my container, I will have this much container, I will have that much container. Unless a consolidation of this planning happens, I think we can do, I think somebody should take an initiative. I think we need to plan. I think maybe Delta can take initiative, or the feeder operator can take initiative. Basically, a consolidation of all this planning is required so that we can get the volumes. Otherwise, what happens is everyone is waiting for, okay, let it start, then let me see the performance, then I will move. I think we should come together and see the experience. I think that's what I suggest.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion, because the LCL containers are moving in quite a lot numbers. So that can be thought of it. I think we have got someone over there. Please.
So we are 90% of importer for the pharmaceutical product. So who are the liners? They are ready to give services from the Goa. Just wanted to know.
I told you basically what is happening is lines are looking at the operators. Operators are looking for the lines. If lines can commit some volume, then it will be easy for any authority, whether it is port or whether delta port. Now we can bring in the operators with a commitment saying that okay, this is the volume, why don't you start the services? So if you can guarantee me a volume, definitely we can start the services very soon.
So in continuation with Krishnakant's question, I would say we are getting almost 200 to 250 containers in a year, and in between after the Goa port suspension a year back, I think we received a message like port is started and you can pass on the message to your all suppliers. So accordingly we pass on all the messages to our suppliers like port is started, you can start booking the containers. But our suppliers came back saying that the Goa port is not active and we are not able to move the containers. So whether the shipping lines, all the shipping lines taken into the confidence like they can book the containers, that is the main question. Like,
Mulli, would you respond or should I respond?
Yeah, Madam, I'm not sure like whether the container lines can start booking now at this point of time, because as he rightly said, this was like the feeder operators, any feeder, I was looking at where is the cargo with the container. The same question what you asked, I'm also asking like have you contacted the container lines, main liners, so. But what will happen now with this today's kind of trade mate, with my gut feeling like something positive will happen, of course from our side. So definitely the liners also like looking for a feeder operation, like so tentatively I'm also like we are saying like we will start a service either end of September or October. Then we will start intimating or we will start meeting the liners also in Mumbai. Then so then they can also start booking the cargo. But if you ask me today, so far nothing finalized, but definitely within a couple of weeks something positive will happen. Yeah. You can add the answer.
Yeah, to add to Mulli's rightly said, in the beginning also I said any feeder operator to start, he requires a minimum volume. And if he rightly said, like today MPA, Goa port is not on the route. So basically the outcome of this today's meet definitely will send a message to the lines that our feeder operator has shown interest, has already given a commitment of to start the services. Once a feeder operator puts in a vessel, then all the lines will start booking it. So it will not take much time, madam. So we will definitely have, and then you can start booking. Yeah, thank you.
May I?
Yeah,
sir, MPA has got a registration with the system where customs is concerned. Would Delta be using the same, or Delta will be having their own registration?
Okay.
Second thing, the infrastructure where you have for containers that come in, like X-ray machine, which customs is supposed to set up. Now, how much time that will take? Because we have to give this to our suppliers, whoever is going to import here, that the infrastructure will be there. And third thing, single window system where customs is concerned, all these people like plant and quarantine, ADC, everyone should be on board with the Delta port, though they are with the MPA. Would that be applicable to Delta ports too?
Thank you, Mario. Okay, coming back to what you have asked for the first, I believe before that I think we have got custom officials over here. So the system what custom you are using, the same system will continue, because the Delta ports is within the custom mod area of MPA. So there won't be a separate system. The customs official who is here present can also correct me if I'm wrong. Second question was basically you were asking about container scanner. The container scanner's installation is in advanced stage and most likely the work will be completed by end of this year. So the work is already going. Before that also it will complete. And what was the third question?
The single window system of having plant and quarantine, EDC, animal quarantine on board for clearances, because today we are very much dependent, other than the customs, with all these people to be on board for giving NOCs for clearance of different other items.
All these PGS definitely will be available in the port area. It need not be at Delta ports, because we have got sufficient infrastructure and they were once upon a time already in harbour. So they will continue to, whenever required, they will offer the services. That is what they have committed. Thank you. Any more questions? Yeah.
Hello. I represent, we are a generator manufacturing company and we do a lot of exports to Mumbai currently. So one of the important questions that I have is about whether Delta Ports has done any cost benefit analysis for this revival of these services. Question number one. Question number two is that what are the timelines by which you would be intending to start these services? So these are the two questions. And the third question is, I would like somebody in the panel to clarify on that window concept. I have not been able to comprehend that. So these are the three questions. Thank you.
Yeah, so the cost analysis, if you compare it with other terminals, definitely we might be a little higher. But overall cost, if you consider, then definitely we'll be more competitive. And the turnaround time also will be one of the key factors that you can consider in terms of sending your cargo from Goa terminal. Second question was?
Actually, that was the second question. The first question was when you be. The second question is when you will be starting. What are your timelines?
Yeah, so we are targeting at least by September end or October mid to commence operations. So that all depends on how the other partners are aligned with us.
Okay, so if you could request one of your colleagues to send us a cost benefit analysis, it will help us strategize.
Yes, Mr. Vishnu is here. He will connect with you over lunch for all your queries.
All right, thank you.
With regard to your third question, I will answer on behalf of Delta Ports as well as MPA, because you you didn't understand what is the window. So the window works like this, suppose if operator operates in the route from Cochin, Goa and Mangalore and then Colombo. So it always takes into the time when he has to reach to the operator, the vessel has to reach Colombo. So suppose the operator says I want a window on a Wednesday and within 24 hours I have to complete the operation and sail. So based on that, we will fix a window a Wednesday window is given. You come in, a walk-in berth will be available. Just walk in, berth, do the loading unloading operations and sail off. That's how the window works.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions? Yeah. Mic over there. Just raise your hand. They can't see. Yeah.
A very good afternoon. It was great to hear of all the facilities that are already set up and are coming up. So all things said and done, the earlier capacity that the port was working at, if you would look at it, 70% of the cargo was pharma, 10% fisheries and 20% was general cargo. Now since the operations have stopped, it has all gone away. And like how the chairman sir said that port would be interested in giving concessions. So what are the steps that Delta Ports and MPA, along in accordance with the Goa government, they would take to leverage this cargo back? Because that is what is going to bring the business back to Goa, which is gone out. So how would that be? First. And second is, we have a lot of companies here who import DG cargo. When I say DG, so we have a lot of DG notified I mean, other classes notified, but we are not class 1 notified. So is there a possibility that we would have class 1 notification in the future? So these are the two questions. Thank you.
So basically, answering to your second question about class. So class A is a bit difficult at the moment because it has to follow a lot of protocols. So currently that is not there. In near future, if there is a demand, then definitely we can ask for the class A services. Your first question was basically how do we attract? Like if you had heard a minister who was speaking, and he said the industry is in full support and the government's initiative is to decarbonize. So basically if you see the cargo which is today moving, entire cargo is moving by road. So if we get the support from the state government, some sort of restrictions on the road movement, if it is done, then all this cargo which are moving by road can actually come and they can find a different route. Sea route is always preferable because the cargo which is moving by road always has the risk and always is at safety is the utmost concern for them. So that actually can be addressed when if it is moving to a short distance. Suppose if pharma, as you said, pharma was moving the cargo. Now today entire pharma is moving through road, and there is a big and a huge risk. Although the volume is less, but the price of this is very, very high. So obviously they will prefer to move cargo at a shorter distance. Once get in, the responsibility of this is taken over by the operator. Whereas if you are moving the cargo by road, the responsibility is still you get in at a JNPA. So definitely we will be working in close tandem with the state government and see that some sort of incentive are worked out, and we can have this cargo moving from Goa port. So I think no further questions. Then shall we conclude? I believe everybody will be moving out from this hall satisfied, and we all will be looking, to start the container services as fast as is possible. Because the way the questions were put, I believe we will be able to start in the coming month only. So that's what I'm hoping for. So once again, as a moderator, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to Kishore for being on the panel, agreeing to this panel discussion. Thank you very much. In spite of your busy schedule, you have taken your time to be and agreed to be on the panel. At the same time, I would also like to thank Muralidharan. I know he has come all the way from Mumbai. So, in spite of his busy schedule, when we requested him that you have to be there, not only as a participant, but you have to be on the panel, he readily agreed, and I think he has given you a good insight. And I'm hoping that you will start the service very soon. So that's what we all are looking for that. So next is basically our own deputy chairperson. In spite of his busy schedule and many meetings lined up, he said, no, this is a great moment where we are going to revive the container service, and we have to be in partner with the Delta ports. So we believe that we are one and we have to work towards a common goal. So thank you very much for your presence, sir, and your inputs. Shamil, definitely the director of Delta Ports, thank you very much. Although you are a host, but being on the panel is also very important, and you agree to be on the panel so that the queries are answered and the audience are satisfied with your answer. Thank you very much.
Lastly, I want to thank Jerome for moderating this session. Thank you for your input.
Yeah, thank you.